Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside the MASL. I'm your host, Jeremy Rika, and today we are going to be previewing the last and final game of today, Saturday, November 4th, between the Florida Tropics and the Rio Grande Valley Barracudas. And let me tell you something, this is going to be one heck of a game. You have two teams that are really looking to have a good start to the season. Florida hasn't yet played, whereas Rio Grande Valley played last week. If you look at Florida, they have some firepower. They have the ability to score goals with Ricardo DeGeese and Mauricio Solis. Those two guys alone can really hit the ball and really hit the back of the net. So I think you'll find that they are going to have a really good game, and I think that it's going to be tough defensively for the Barracudas to really get pressure on that offense on the defensive end, because if you look at the last game for Rio Grande Valley, they gave up 8 goals against that El Paso team that just really came out firing. And I think offensively the Tropics have just as good of an offense, if not better than the Coyotes did. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the Barracudas come out defensively. I would think that would have to be a point of emphasis for them, because there's no way that they can be happy with giving up 8 goals defensively. Defensively, you have to do better. And the Barracudas have firepower of their own. If you look at Moises Gonzalez and Antonio Manfut, between the two of them last week, they had 15 shots between the two of them. And the Barracudas as a whole, they had 35 shots altogether, but they only produced 4 goals out of those 35 shots. So I'm thinking that defensively, not only do they have to get tighter defensively, but I would think finishing would be a point of emphasis for them. Because if you look at that number and you look at 35 shots with only 4 points, that's not acceptable. That's not going to get it done. And so I think for the Barracudas, they really have to make it a point of emphasis to hit the target. And I know that sounds really silly because, well, it's a game of soccer. That's the goal, right? Is to score goals and get more points. But the reality is, if your shots on goal are not quality shots on goal, there's no point in taking shots. So it's great to have a high number of shots, but when you look at the number of shots compared to the number of goals, it's just not acceptable. So look for that to be a point of emphasis for Rio Grande Valley. And on the other side, if I'm that offense of the Tropics, I look at that number 8 from last week and say, listen, we have the capability to score goals. The Coyotes scored 8 goals last week, and that offense is just as good. So if I'm the Tropics, I take advantage of the Barracudas defensively. If I had to make a prediction for this game, I think the Barracudas come up short by 2 or 3 goals. I think Florida's going to come away with the win, and it's going to be a good game. It's going to be entertaining, but I do think Florida comes away with the W here, and the Barracudas unfortunately fall to 0-2 on the season. So that's it for my prediction for the game between the Tropics and the Barracudas. If you would like to watch that game, please go over to YouTube and look up MASL TV. And if you want to know anything related to the Major Arena Soccer League, please go to maslsoccer.com. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. Please subscribe to my channel to find other videos of my previews and my recaps, as well as maybe some other videos as well. Until next time, this is Jeremy Rica saying, so long everybody.